How did we get here? This very point where an elected official, a public servant, can issue threats to private citizens for expressing themselves. I'll tell you how, bit by bit. Anytime any one of us suffered injustice and we stayed quiet, we gave up a little bit of our power. Remember when they came for the Post newspaper? Many of us didn't like Fred Membe, so we sat back quietly and said nothing. Some of us even praised them and said, Nevikadi V. From Chiruba, Manawasa, Rupia, all of these presidents failed to deal with Fred. Fiamukwanisha. They have caused injury and death to citizens and private companies, threatened and or shut down countless other media outlets. Most recently, Prime TV. We sat, watched. Some of us even said about Prime TV, they had started going too far. They must learn, Boma ni Boma. We gave up more of our power. My friends, Boma si Boma, Boma ni Wantu. Those offices these people hold are created through our constitution. And that constitution is a document which represents the will, wishes, and aspirations of us Zambians. Therefore, we ultimately are the bosses. See, our fault as Zambian has been that we leave our power at the voting booth. Once we have chosen our servants, that's it. We go home and allow them free reign. They buy 42 fire trucks for 42 million. We sit quietly, meaning we've given up our power to hold them accountable. Then they go again, buy overpriced ambulances. Again, we sit back quietly, giving up our power to hold them accountable. And as a result now, the new normal is overpriced tenders, infringing on the rights of private citizens and sometimes even private companies, abusing officers because we, the people, the owners of the power, sit back and watch. Repeatedly, we've been quiet when we should have been speaking out, asking, wait, that doesn't make sense. This is too expensive. How explain that to us? But we are just quiet. And now our elected officials have become accustomed to not being held accountable, so much that when citizens speak out, a public servant has the nerve to ask them to shut up and apologize within 24 hours. Preposterous. That, my friend, is a perfect case of someone who has become drunk with power. Drunk. Beregede. So much that he does not know where his authority ends. And more importantly, he has forgotten that that same authority is derived from us, the owners of the Constitution. And therefore, his failure to listen and accept criticism coming from his bosses is a failure to respect our Constitution. And when one fails to respect our Constitution, he loses the right to remain in their position. At this point, an apology would not be enough. We have heard what sounds like apologies from the ruling party and from the minister in charge of arts and tourism issued to musicians. What we have not seen, however, is an apology from the culprit himself. Therefore, we will turn to our first public servant, the president. Mr. Lungu, please remind that man and anyone else who may be thinking to follow in his footsteps who the real bosses are. We call on you to take decisive and exemplary punitive action against him in national interest.